If I could only give you one tip when coming to Rome, what would it be? And I've given this considerable thought, and this tip I think can help the most amount of people, regardless if you've been to Rome multiple times or if it's your first time to Rome. And that is tap and go. What is tap and go? It is the newest system implemented in 2023 to get on buses, trams, and metro throughout the city of Rome. Now, all you have to do to get on the trams or the buses or the metros is to use your credit card. So you no longer need physical tickets. This is great because before you had to go search for a place to buy them. You had to usually stand in line, whether it's at a kiosk or at a ticket window. You had to determine whether you wanted a single use, how many to buy, whether you buy the day pass as a better value or the 2-day pass or the 3-day pass. Now with Tap and Go, you don't have to worry about any of that. Let me explain. All you do is, let's say you arrive in Rome and you get on your first bus at 12 noon on a Tuesday. Okay, now, regardless of how many times you use buses or trams, from Tuesday noon till Wednesday at noon, the most it's going to charge you is €7 for a 24-hour period, even if you go on the buses 10 different times. Okay? If you're in a 2-day period, I think it's €13, and a 3-day, I think is 18. But regardless, whatever the best rate is, the Tap and Go system is going to default for you the best rate depending on how many times you used the Tap and Go. Now, a Tap and Go, typically, here's how it works. Let's say you get on the bus, you tap one time. It's good for 100 minutes, meaning you go out 30 minutes, go to the grocery store, and come back. You only need one ticket. But you tap both times, whether you're coming and going. Even if it's been less than 30 minutes, you tap a second time. The screen turns green, lets you, acknowledging that you paid. But your credit card will only be charged the one time because the first time it charged you, but the next time it was less than 100 minutes, so you won't be charged for that. But it's good to do that anyways and tap, because that way, if you are, a conductor sees that you went on the bus or whatever, you can show them your credit card and it will acknowledge that you paid. And that happened to me yesterday. It was super easy. The attendant came up, asked me for my ticket. I showed him my credit card. He did a quick scan with his little machine. It shows that the credit card was used to make a payment, and everything was good, and you move on. So tap every time, regardless. Now, just so you know, on a metro, you have to use a new ticket every time you go into the metro and come back out. So you go into the metro and you come back out. The next time you go down into the metro, whether it's been 20 minutes or an hour, that doesn't matter. You're going to pay a second time of €1.50. But again, the max is going to be 7 in a 24-hour period. And this is really good news because now getting around Rome has become so much easier. You no longer have to make those decisions in advance how many times you're going to use that metro, whether a 1-day, 2-day, 3-day pass is a good value or not. Now you just tap along the way, and if it ends up being a good value, it will give it to you. And I think that is a pretty high value tip. So how do you use Tap and Go? In the very front of the bus, there's a screen that you walk in. As soon as you walk in near the driver, there's a screen. It's about this big, and you just tap your credit card or your smartphone against that with using Apple Pay or whatever, and it will turn green, acknowledging payment. If you're at the metro, right on top of the turnstiles, there's a little thing where you stick your cards in, your tickets. Right on top, there's a little square thing, and it's about this thick. You tap that with your card, and it will open up the turnstile for you, acknowledging payment. So it's super easy. They're everywhere in Rome. All of the buses, all of the trams, all of the metros. In 2022, buses did not have Tap and Go. They were available on the metro, but it didn't make a lot of sense because if you can't use it on both, then it doesn't really make a lot of sense. You still need to buy tickets, and then it won't track it for you. But now it's become so much better. So hopefully this tip was good, and I think it was. And I think most of you did not know about Tap and Go. So I think you should give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my video. It helps me a lot. If you do want to see additional tips, this was one good tip. I do have a video that I'm going to put here that will show you additional tips. And that's all I got for you this time.